It sounds like the plot of a movie. A U.S. man was able to hide behind a false identity, operating a sophisticated illegal drug website.
The drug kingpin, who goes by the name Dread Pirate Roberts.
You guys do not believe that Ross, that he saw this through.
Thousands of envelopes of drugs actually came through Chicago O'Hare Airport, where he works.
The biggest dealer of all was a mysterious figure known only as Dread Pirate Roberts.
The Silk Road website was the first known case of a darknet marketplace, an encrypted online platform, shadowed in the depths of the World Wide Web, selling every illegal substance, product, and act imaginable. The site sold drugs, guns, and even poison to over 100,000 customers in its 2-year lifespan. This is the story of the corruption, deception, and murder that led to its eventual downfall. Like most stories, this one starts at the beginning. Ross William Ulbricht was a 27-year-old computer engineer and programmer. He attended the University of Texas at Dallas on a full academic scholarship, later going on to pursue a master's degree in material sciences and engineering at Penn State University. After graduating, he pursued multiple business ventures, all of which failed. His path to success came quickly, however, when he began pondering an idea, a website, quote, where people could buy anything anonymously, with no trail whatsoever that could lead back to them. He began to contemplate this idea. As a committed libertarian, he considered how this site may correspond with his political values. On his LinkedIn page, he spoke of how he wanted to, quote, use economic theory as a means to abolish the use of coercion and aggression amongst mankind. He said he wanted to create an economic simulation to give people a first-hand experience of what it would be like to live in a world without the systematic use of force. And so, in February of 2011, his idea became a reality. Over the next 2 years, the website boomed, amassing over 100,000 buyers, thousands of sellers, and constant sales of every illicit item or service under the sun. Like all buyers and sellers on the Silk Road, Ross operated anonymously, under the pseudonym Dread Pirate Roberts. This name, inspired by the protagonist of the cult classic movie The Princess Bride, was notable, as in the film, many individuals hold the same title. It is assumed that Ulbricht chose this title in hopes that he could claim that he was simply one of many individuals behind the site should he ever get caught. The website continued as an outstanding success, with Ulbricht making millions through a fee from all sales. Over 10,000 items were listed for sale on the site, with 70% of them being drugs. The Silk Road continued to run smoothly until 2013, when things began to take a turn for the worse. In late May of 2013, posts on Silk Road and associated message boards began referencing a seller who had recently, quote, gone rogue. The individual, known on the site as Tony76 or Lucy Drop, had reportedly ended their exchanges and began scamming individuals out of considerable amounts of money, often by making a sale and failing to deliver on the product. This raised the attention of Ross, known on the site only as Dread Pirate Roberts or simply DPR. Soon after the news was released, another site user, known as, quote, Friendly Chemist, contacted Ulbricht, claiming to be the middleman between Lucy Drop and the North American biker gang, the Hells Angels. Friendly Chemist claimed that he feared for his life, as Ulbricht and Lucy Drop had apparently been in contact, and that Ross owed him money from a past deal. Ross denied these claims, and the situation quickly got worse. At this point, Ross had gotten in contact with both Lucy Drop and a Hells Angels member known as, quote, Red and White, trying to understand the true extent of Friendly Chemist's situation. He knew the claims were entirely false, yet Friendly Chemist was threatening his reputation. Soon after this, Friendly Chemist began really threatening him. claiming that he had the full contact list of the Silk Road featuring thousands of buyers and sellers. He claimed that he would release these names if he wasn't paid $500,000 for his debt. As his threats got worse, Ross Ulbricht made the sensible decision to kill Friendly Chemist. Of course, he didn't do it himself. Instead, he hired multiple hitmen through Red and White, the Hells Angels member. Once the first hit was conducted, Ulbricht paid for another, this time for Friendly Chemist's business partner. After these hits were carried out, Ulbricht realized that simply having people killed was an effective way of solving his problems. Within the next few weeks, he paid for the killing of 4 associates of Friendly Chemist and his partner, with his payments eventually reaching over $1 million. As the guilt from being responsible for 6 deaths took its toll on Ulbricht, the FBI was hot on his tail. Gary Alford, an IRS investigator working with the DEA on the Silk Road case, was the first to link Ulbricht to the site. This link was made when officials discovered a forum post under one of Ulbricht's online aliases asking for programming help on a website. Unfortunately for Ross, he had used his personal email in the query, which was a key piece of evidence linking him to the Silk Road. Now that authorities had tracked Ross down, one major issue lay in their way. They had to get him with his computer open, as the file encryption software would destroy its information if they attempted to unlock it. This meant that the FBI had to get him in public. On October 2nd, 2013, FBI agents followed Ulbricht to the Glen Park branch of the San Francisco Public Library and carried out a bizarre, almost comedic plan. 2 agents, disguised as quarreling lovers, broke into a verbal altercation, which distracted Ulbricht for long enough for a 3rd agent to swoop in and grab his open laptop, handing it to Agent Thomas Kernan, who inserted a flash drive equipped with software that copied key files. With Ross Ulbricht now apprehended, the trial could commence. On the 21st of August, 2014, Ulbricht was charged with money laundering, conspiracy to commit computer hacking, and conspiracy to traffic narcotics. He was ordered to be held without bail. Before the trial commenced, Ross was offered a plea deal with an outcome that would have likely been a 10-year sentence. Ulbricht turned the offer down, intending to fight the case in court. And so, on January 13th of the next year, his trial began. As the proceedings started, Ulbricht and his lawyer made the claim that, while he had created the website to begin with, he had transferred all control of the domain to another party soon after its launch. This was the Dread Pirate Roberts tactic in full play, and it did not work. Ulbricht's lawyers then made the claim that Ross had acted as a fall guy for tech billionaire and cryptocurrency mogul Mark Karpelès. This claim, unsurprisingly, was also found to be untrue. In the second week of the trial, prosecutors presented evidence such as chat logs, forum posts, and other documentation from Ulbricht's computer that proved that he had been working as a head admin for the site for multiple months, disproving the defense's second claim. The defense made several other claims, including that the chat records had been planted on Ulbricht's computer. Like all previous claims, these too were discredited. And so, on February 4th, 2015, Ulbricht was sentenced to double life imprisonment plus 40 years without the possibility of parole. It should also be noted that in late March of 2015, a criminal complaint issued by the United States District Court for the Northern District of California led to the arrest and conviction of 2 former DEA agents, after it was found that they had stolen funds that were originally transferred from Ulbricht's computer to the administration. Now with the case closed and Ross behind bars, one major question remains. Why wasn't Ulbricht charged with 6 counts of soliciting a murder? Well, it wasn't insufficient evidence or inadequate witness testimony. Ulbricht wasn't charged with the killings simply because they never happened. Computer whiz and megamind big brain genius Ross Ulbricht had been scammed. Not only that, but Lucy Drop, Friendly Chemist, Red and White, and numerous other characters were all played by the same person. Simply put, someone made up a man that needed to be killed, and then came up with 5 more. In the end, Ulbricht had been swindled out of over $1 million, and he hadn't even noticed. Additionally, the alleged culprit, Vancouver resident James Ellingson, was only apprehended in 2018. This meant that Ellingson was roaming free for nearly 3 years after Ross was sent to prison. Speaking of prison, let's take a look where Ross is now. As of this recording, Ulbricht has been in prison for over 7.5 years, with no major change in sight. Despite this, Ross's family has created and maintained a website campaigning for his release, freeross.org. The site shares supportive quotes from well-known political figures, accounts from friends and family, and a merch store fit with t-shirts, mugs, and tote bags. A major issue with this site, as well as Ulbricht's claims, is that they place Ross in a state of complete innocence, with no guilt on the matter whatsoever. Another point of interest in this case is that all monetary transactions took place via Bitcoin, which was at a relatively low value during its use. This begs the question, how much is it all worth now? Well, for starters, the amount that Ulbricht paid for all 6 pseudo-killings, about 7,225 Bitcoin, is currently worth approximately $561 million today. Additionally, the amount seized from Ulbricht's computer and other areas of the Silk Road is estimated to be at over $11 billion as of this recording. Needless to say, the final cost of this conviction was substantial for Ulbricht. The Silk Road Marketplace case is one of the most significant legal cases of the 21st century so far. The site itself was like nothing the world had ever seen. It set the stage for hundreds of illegal online marketplaces, rising and falling in the following decades. Tens of individuals were charged in connection to the Silk Road, many serving sentences of 5 years or more. This case set a precedent, influencing trials and convictions for the following years. Its impact, like Ross Ulbricht, may not be seen for years to come. I've been Reith Humphreys. Thanks for watching.
Cannonball shooting.
The whole world. Yeah. It's not cheap. Not cheap.